He's an 8-time Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Award winner. And he snapped a ball through his legs.
Wait, why does your name get to go first?
Shut up.
This is Scone and T.
Because they made us.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Another edition of Scone and T. We're at Oliver Twist on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. Appreciate you for being there with us. We'll get this out of the way first for our live audience. Having trouble with the YouTube live stream, so we're live only on Facebook tonight, but we will.
I got nothing. I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We will, however, upload the video to YouTube after the show if you can't be here live. You can always listen, of course, or watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN Facebook page. So that's why it's good to have multiple broadcast streams, so we're not beholden to just one, although I know a lot of people are looking for us on YouTube. So
what happened to just recording things and putting them out there like we used to in the old days?
Actually, I think in the old days, they probably just did live shows on radio.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, hey, let's be live.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Ooh, I got a notification from the Sneakers app. I wonder what they're trying to sell.
Wasn't that kind of funny then, how things bounce back and forth? Because then it became... all podcasts need to be recorded and edited, and then people are like, oh, wait, but people like live video and live chat, and then so we're back. And
it's all about giving people whatever they want whenever they want. And so that's why we're here.
Well,
to be with you live.
How far are you willing to go?
However, as far as
you want to finish that sentence, however far away.
As far as a broadcast entity, yes. Be wherever your audience is, in whatever format they want.
I was talking about me and you just going to the bathroom.
I'm good.
Okay, fine by me. Offers on the table.
I used the restroom before we started the show. You just walked in 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, you say like it's a bad thing. It's called being on time. Well, don't tell me you're one of those on time is 5 minutes early people. I got no problem. I'm never late. That's fine.
I mean, you kind of were today because I was starting the show and you're standing up over there fumbling with like headsets and getting out your
No, not at all, dude. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all. You were late because you couldn't get it up on YouTube.
Is it weird? No, that's well, God bless. It's a Muse problem, but it's not exactly. So we try just about everything you can imagine. Well, anyway, so welcome in. Okay, I'm excited about this. So we're doing tonight. We got a lot to talk about. The NFL free agency period NFL free agency period is underway.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. The Pelicans stink. So we'll talk about that. LSU baseball is really good.
Yeah.
So talk about that. So a lot to get to here over the next hour.
Oh, thank you. What is this, margarita?
Oh.
You, Matt.
It's like a little cucumber
margarita. Some sort of cucumber margarita.
And so T-Bob was drinking a margarita, and I have the break even tonight is a flight of Benchmark.
Oh.
So Benchmark is from Buffalo Trace. I'm way oversimplifying this, but essentially it's the same mash bill as Buffalo Trace. It's just younger. It's at least 4 years. And so there's a lot of different expressions. So we're going to do a flight tonight, and it's a $10 flight, and you get 4 half-ounce pours.
Damn,
yeah,
for $10.
For
Those
$10
are heavy pours. Those look like some of my pours, dude.
I think this is more than a half ounce.
Okay,
I think they've been a little generous with me. Anyway, so this is the single barrel, the bottle and bond, and the full proof. And then there's another one I know, which is maybe it's just like their standard expression. But anyway, excited about this. I haven't had Benchmark before, so we're going to give this a go tonight and give it a try. So thank you for being there again. You can drop your comments on the Facebook chat. We'll keep an eye on them here as we move throughout the show tonight. Do you want to start with Saints stuff? Since last week, so much of our convo was Derek Carr.
Yeah, I'm down, dude.
Since then, of course, Carr is signed. Jameis is re-signed. Michael Thomas is back. The whole defense is gone, but they've started to add some new pieces defensively.
I mean, the defense is gone, but individually, you're not too upset about seeing any of them go. Now, you have serious work to do in terms of making up for raw numbers, but like nobody's really sweating not having to stress over Marcus Davenport not producing again next year, or the drop-off of David Onyemata post drug test failure. See what I'm doing here? This is how you just immediately, when you break up with someone, act like everything that they did sucked.
Yeah.
Like, Onyemata fucking sucked. Like, ever since he got caught, popped for steroids. Marcus Davenport was awesome for 11 games and then went back to sucking this year. Unbelievably unproductive. Chai Tuttle's kind of nice. Nobody's mad at Chai Tuttle.
I would have
Chai
been
Tuttle stuffed stiff arm Matt Ryan that one time. That was Tuttle, wasn't it?
Yes, I would have been okay with Annie. Or was that Roach? Was that Malcolm Roach?
No.
Was Tuttle?
I feel like I would remember if Malcolm Roach, and I know they're pretty much the same size probably, but like Malcolm Roach just feels like fatter and heavier. If he got a pick six or a fumble recovery or a touchdown, I feel like I'd remember that more.
No, that was
Shai Tuttle.
Okay. So
we'll always have that shot.
I would have been okay with any of those players coming back at the right price.
Yeah.
What was really interesting to me, and the two players. The two defensive tackles that the Saints added. We're doing this live. If you're watching or listening on demand, it's Wednesday. It's the start of the free agent period. They added Nathan Shepard from the Jets and Khalen Saunders from the Chiefs. Both of those, so I didn't know much about either of them.
Wait, hold on. I didn't see this today. These both broke after the show today.
Yes,
I haven't seen these yet.
So the Saints added two defensive tackles. Nathan Shepard from the Jets, both were former third-round picks. Shepard's about 29 years old, but he started his career just as like a backup, not playing much. In the last 3 years, his productivity has increased. Each of the last 3 years. He's 29. And then Khalen Saunders was a third-round pick who had a really good year for Kansas City this past year on the Super Bowl team. He's 26 years old. So you got two guys that, like, if you look at Shepard as Tuttle and Saunders as Onyemata, their productivity is basically what and what.
All right,
it's essentially a wash, and you got both of them for under $15 million over 3 years.
There you go.
Each, I mean, like. You got both of them for what Atlanta spent on David Onyemata. And the Saints aren't done. You know they're going to draft. So then I got to wait to see in total what it looks like. But you add a first-round defensive tackle. Like, I'm really okay. For the same reason you just said. Like, I like Tuttle. I like Onyemata.
Yeah.
I'm glad that, the Saints, discovered them, developed them. But I also recognize exactly what you said, which was the fact that David Onyemata's seen his productivity decrease, and what is Shai Tuttle really worth? So you went thrift shopping and did pretty good.
No, these are meat and potato signings, and you weren't, again, like you said, you weren't worried about losing star power. I mean, Marcus Davenport had potential for star power, but that was a decision that made itself, right? Like, that's the kind of freeing part about Davenport is you didn't even really have to think about that too much.
Piece of fish? That's salmon?
This is salmon. This is salmon salad.
Salmon salad.
Yeah, and this is a shillelagh. Hold on, but let me finish. So whatever. You lost meat and potatoes players, and you got meat and potatoes players. Like, these are not the flashes, but this is the foundation upon which a defensive line room is built, right? And then you have Cam Jordan as a playmaker. You're going to need Carl Granderson to step up. You need Peyton Turner to do anything. Like, you just need Peyton Turner to be a viable piece. And then, maybe you go draft a Breesy from Clemson or any of these other D tackles that are potentially rumored. And did the Saints sign Jamal Williams?
This broke within the last hour.
Let's go, dude.
I was going to get to this in a second.
Matt, you have to watch anime now, dude.
Why?
You want to watch Naruto? Jamal Williams is the biggest weeb weeb in the NFL. He loves anime, dude.
I don't give a shit what he likes.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, what? Okay, so you're just going to be a Saints fan and not support Jamal Williams?
I can support Jamal Williams without
I'll
watching
give you one anime movie to watch, and you have to watch it.
No.
Akira.
No shot.
Come on, dude.
0% chance.
What?
A zero.
Spirited Away.
0% chance.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Zero.
Dude, Princess Mononoke is fucking tight.
0% chance I watch it.
Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Literally zero.
Death Note.
Nope. There is literally no chance.
Lupin the Third Blood Spray of Ishikawa.
I will not spend moments on this earth watching an anime movie.
Pokemon?
I'm sorry?
Pokemon?
No.
Pikachu. Well, looks like you and Jamal Williams are never going to be tight like me and Jamal Williams are.
So the deal,
even though I've never seen Naruto, so I'm sorry, Jamal.
So the Saints biggest, most glaring needs were obviously defensive tackle, running back, and I still think wide receiver is on that list. So the deal the Saints gave Jamal Williams, so we talked about the defensive tackles, which I like what they did, but they're not done. Like they still, last year coming out of camp, they signed 4 DTs to the 53-man 53-man roster. You've got 2 right now. So they're not done. If it's drafting, would you agree that either 29 or 40, one of their first 2 picks, they're going to draft a defensive tackle?
I would think you would have to at this point.
It's impossible to imagine a scenario where they don't.
Plus, I mean, that's a place generally, Matt, where you can get relatively good value late in the first round, right? Early in the second, depending on if there's a run on guys, but it's going to be a run on quarterback. Well, whatever. We'll see how the draft breaks. You can generally get good value. And again, those other guys, meat and potato signings, here's where you try to find a potential star that can develop over the next few years and will be cheap on a rookie contract. Now, unfortunately, they haven't been great. I mean, they haven't gone interior. Peyton Turner's kind of a tweener. Marcus Davenport was kind of a tweener in that you could bump him down to a 3-tech. But they've fallen a little in love with athletic potential the last couple times out, and maybe not as much production, and I think it's kind of bit them. Like both you ever read about that relative athletic score that Sean Payton was obsessed with using? And I don't know how much of it was Loomis and how much is Payton, so maybe he's still into it. But it's just it's a system that somebody developed for grading players that is just supposed to, like, no matter weight, height, it's going to give you a relative athletic score from which to judge, right? In fact, Anthony Richardson actually broke the quarterback record this year for RAS, as you know, Cam Newton just barely.
Okay.
But Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport both scored like freakishly on that.
Okay.
Like it was kind of the only reasoning behind how Peyton Turner ended up being a first-round pick. I guess what I'm getting at is I would like to see them maybe go a bit more film-based with this pick, like a Breesy, and somebody who's been a bit more productive and still has, at least a baseline of measurables that you're looking for.
Yeah, no, they need to add interior defensive linemen. They still have to. It doesn't matter if it's in the draft or free agents. Like you have 2 of them on your roster. Like you got to have more.
Yeah.
So they're not done there. How they add it will be interesting. But I'm with you. I would love to see them use one of their first 2 picks on an interior player that can be a starter and piece of a rotation. You had to add a running back because you've only got Kamara. Remember, at the end of last year, they were counting on David Johnson and Eno Benjamin. So, that's a problem.
Who did David Johnson get traded for one day? DeAndre Hopkins.
Get DeAndre Hopkins when the Texans and the Cardinals did that deal.
Yeah.
He had one good year.
Yeah, it was a good year, though.
It was a very good year.
He won a lot of people their fantasy league.
But right now,
Bill O'Brien.
You've got Kamara, and I think the general feeling is Kamara's going to miss
at least 6 games.
Probably 6 games. But Goodell can do whatever he wants. So you're going to need – and by the way, it can't just be Jamal Williams. You've got to add somebody else as well.
Wait, hold on. Before we get there, does Roger Goodell still hate the Saints? Or does he hate the Broncos now?
Oh, because of Peyton?
Well, because it's going to be hard for him to hate the Broncos, though, because he got on his knees for that Walton Kroenke power couple to give them the team. He really – he went prostrate before them, but now his archenemy, who he loathes, is the head coach of his newest owner, who he's trying to tout as the richest owner yet in the NFL.
I know, weird.
Roger Goodell's in a bit of a mental pretzel.
That's a Denver problem. I think I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend to have a strong opinion there. I think a lot of that finger wrangling and all is overblown. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying there's not feelings. I mean, Sean Payton.
I'm being a bit tongue-in-cheek about it.
But Sean Payton wearing the Roger Goodell clown shirt, unzipped to Sean Payton's at a press conference and he's got the Goodell clown shirt unzipped to right there, just so you can see the hairline. It's we know exactly what it's he could have very easily just done this. But no, it was right
My old man wore that to Disney one time, and the security guard was like, hold up, I got to ask my supervisor if he could wear that, because he didn't know what the shirt was.
Yeah.
And he thought it was something political, right? This was like during this was like 2018 or something around there, right? And security guard walks up and he's like, "Oh no, man, everybody hates that dude. You're good. Come on in."
So good.
Like, hell yeah! I was in LA too.
Oh wow.
The Goodell hate knows no geographical boundaries. Okay, anyway, sorry. So Kamara probably 6 games. Jamal Williams, you do need more, and you probably draft one, and you probably get an undrafted free agent to throw against the wall, like. You can find a couple other younger running backs, I think, along with Jamal Williams. Or do you think you need another vet on top of Jamal Williams?
I think of a younger back. Like, I think you draft the guy you think is the eventual Kamara. And I thought they would do that last year. I really liked Kyron Williams from Notre Dame, who went to the Rams. I thought he was the perfect skill set for what the Saints have used in a running back for all these years. But anyway, and this is a very deep draft. I know we tend to have a local bias, but Tyjae Spears, I think, is a perfect fit, and that's probably a maybe late day 2 or early day 3 pick. This is a very deep running back year. Like, you're going to get great value anywhere in this draft at running back. Someone asked me, should the Saints trade up to take Bijan Robinson? I'm like, absolutely not. Bijan Robinson's a great player, but first of all, the Saints don't need to be trading up, and they certainly don't need to be trading up to take a running back in a very deep running back year. So, I mean, I think there's just – I think they will have to pull the trigger somewhere in the draft on a running back.
You got
But I do like Jamal Williams. Had a 1,000-yard year with the Lions. He's 27 years old. He'll be 28 in April. So he's
got an infectious personality.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like it. I like it's exactly the type. And look, the other thing too, T, that we're seeing is like the deal was 3 years, I believe, $12 million. 3-year, $12 million with $8 million guaranteed. So it's like everything they're doing right now.
Running backs are down bad.
Yeah,
dude.
but everything the Saints are doing right now is very just sort of palatable. They're not overspending, mostly because they can't overspend. So this is the bind you kind of get into.
But overspending free agency almost never works out.
I'm with you, but you don't even have the opportunity. Like Atlanta overspent on David Onyemata. They did, like in a big way. But they could. And Brian Nielsen had him in New Orleans and loved him and wanted the player, and so like, yeah, we could spend that. Okay, because they had the money and the capital to do it.
Also, it is a funny football butterfly effect how this all went down, because Ryan Nielsen would have been LSU's coordinator in 2021?
Yes.
And then Sean Payton blocks it. So he ends up back with the Saints, right? Then Sean Payton decides to leave, which leads to hiring Dennis Allen, who's the de facto defensive coordinator. So there's no upward mobility left for Nielsen. So he leaves and then comes back and raids the guys that he developed and that he believes in. I'm not saying it's a huge loss, but it is a funny butterfly effect that all goes back to Sean Payton stopping Ryan Nielsen from taking the LSU D coordinator job. And it led to Durante Jones, who actually did, I think Durante Jones did a fine job.
Second half, Durante did okay.
Well, I think word on the street is that's when they kind of let him start making his own calls.
But I will tell you also, early in the year, Durante's head was swimming a little.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
I have no problem saying that, and I think he did settle himself nicely. And
the Alabama game was a masterpiece.
Yeah, they did great. Yeah. So anyway, the other spot that the Saints need to address is receiver. What do you? So look, they've obviously got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. I think could be a really serviceable number 3. What do you?
With Mike Thomas, dude, they're pretty good. I'm not saying they can't get an upgrade, but you got Shaheed as your pure deep threat. You got Olave deep to intermediate, and then Mike Thomas all your short to intermediate. Like, he's your brawler. You got big body Juwan Johnson in there. When Kamara plays, you got a great receiver out the backfield then. Like, it's not that dissimilar from what he had in Oakland, maybe just like in Oakland pre Devontae Adams. I don't think there's Devontae Adams on this team, but like the big body. I mean, Waller's better, certainly, but Juwan Johnson's flashing potential. I think you could argue Mike Thomas probably better than Renfro when he's at his peak, obviously. So, like, I kind of like the receiving core. I'm not saying you can't add to it, but it feels like you're checking. Like, the box that needed to be checked is theoretically the one that Mike Thomas checks.
So, but I just can't count on Michael Thomas. I can't.
Yeah, that's cool. I get that.
It's been 3 years, man. So I think if you're looking at Michael Thomas so this is how I've described it. If there's a scale of Michael Thomas. And on this end of the scale is 2019, 149 catches, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. And on this side end of the scale is 2021 playing 0 games, right? Where does Michael Thomas in 2023 fall on this scale?
See, okay, so that's kind of interesting that you view it as a scale, because I view it as a little more binary, actually. Like, I have in one box, literal, inarguable Hall of Fame trajectory Mike Thomas, first 4 years, whereas better, like started great, 92 catches rookie year and everything, but somehow just kept going up to an absurd degree. And then I have, your post-Drew Brees injury Mike Thomas. And this box is filling up, and it's almost as big as this one now, and it's the most recent box that we have. And I think Derek Carr is closer. Like, I view Drew Brees as a scale, right? And I think he's closer to the Drew Brees end than he would be the Andy Dalton. I don't know that, or the Jameis end. I don't know that for sure. Carr has to prove that. But, like, I don't know. To Mike Thomas, to your point, I think it's a coin flip. But I don't think there's I still think he has the ability to be great, because we saw it for 4 years. And then even in this game, even in this last year when he was healthy, that greatness flashed.
But that's the problem. Like,
it's a coin flip. That's what I said.
But at some point, it is.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't think he's middling. If he plays, I think he puts up great numbers.
But that's my point. But that's my point on the scale. Like, is he going to play?
Yeah.
And I don't think he is. I have no 3 years. At some point, everybody's body just fails them, and you get injured more easily, and it's harder to come back from it. And I just think 30-year-old Mike Thomas is there. And I would love if he stays healthy and gives you 14, 15 games, then yes, I agree with you. He's over here. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, and he's super productive.
80-plus catches, probably 90-plus.
If he is 40% on that scale, he is 40% of what he was here, you're still talking about a guy that's going to give you 50 catches.
Yeah, that's fair.
And 700 yards or 600 yards, which I'll take that for my number 2. Absolutely, I will. Behind Olave, if he's going to be a 90-catch guy and 1,000 yards. So I just don't know that I don't trust that Michael Thomas is going to be on the field. So if he is, I will be pleasantly surprised. But that's why I think you have got to supplement. And he's on a 1-year deal, so you have to think about beyond this year as well.
That also does. Now the 1-year deal thing is fair in terms of drafting wide receiver. 1-year deal thing does probably help work out in the Mike Thomas is going to be as motivated as possible to get that big contract and get what he thinks he is worth, right? I think that's one thing that I don't know if it's going to work, Matt, but I do like it from a motivational standpoint. And Derek Carr and Mike Thomas, you have 2 people that are very motivated to prove others wrong, right? To prove you're right. Derek Carr, the question with him right now is, okay, is Derek Carr not that good? Like, was Derek Carr holding the Raiders back, or the Raiders holding Derek Carr back, right? And then with Mike Thomas, it's, okay, will he be a flash in the pan, or can he have a Randy Moss-esque resurgence and find his way back to the dominance that he flashed so consistently early on? So you have 2 people that are at absolute crossroads, and now they meet up, and they are tied, like, at the hip. Like their success goes as the other goes in a lot of ways. And I think that's potential for, that potentially works out very well. And if I wanted to argue, and again,
Thomas, I think it's literally a question of
it is.
Health. If he's healthy, he's going to produce.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I am trying to offer up sunshine pumping logical trains that you can hop on and enjoy if you want to feel like if I can choose, okay, if it's a coin flip and I can choose to be positive, here are some reasons to feel positive. There's that aspect, and there's the fact that Michael Thomas, one whole lost year.
It is his Thomas.
Was, and he'll say it as well, but one whole lost year was really due to immaturity and not handling an injury correctly, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily going out there and getting a fresh injury. It was just not doing what you needed to do as far as your job entails, and it cost you horribly, and then it led to emotional fallout and everything else, right? So we've seen him get hurt on the field twice now, at this point, one just step into linger forever. Like, maybe it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip.
A toe cost you 14 weeks.
I don't know, dude. Toes are weird. Toes are weird, though. It's one of those things where
need a toe. I can get you a toe.
Well, no, remember, like I'll never forget when I was a little kid, like Dion with the commies back in the day, missed like 14 games for turf toe, and I'm like, turf toe, what the hell? But no, you can't play DB with turf toe. You can't do it.
I can get you a toe.
What? What is that from?
With nail polish.
What?
Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Walter Sobchak. I can get you a toe. They cut off a fucking toe, man. Anyway, the real ones know it. We're here at Oliver Twist, by the way. So this is the benchmark flight.
Yeah.
Single barrel. I'll just give you my impression of them. So it's single barrel, the bottle and bond, and the full proof. Single barrel, I think, has tons of cherry notes, and I enjoy it a lot. The bottle and bond is harsh and oaky. It is way too. I think this is very. It's not mature enough. I don't like it, but I like the single barrel very much. Full proof. If you like a full proof whiskey, I think you would enjoy this. This will give you that nice Kentucky hug right in here that you like a lot whenever you sip it.
Oh, a nice Kentucky hug. Is that what they called it?
Mm-hmm. And I think it has a very good mouthfeel. Has actually like some dark, rich like chocolate on as well as the whiskey flavor that you're going to get.
More mature mouthfeel for you?
Coffee, dark chocolate. That's what you get in the full proof. Single barrel, cherries, sweet. I like that a lot. The bottle and bond though, I don't like it at all. But these two are very, very good. Very good.
The cock of the week is I'll try them. Shalala. Hold on, let me. Oh, hello there. I'm excited for St. Patrick's Day. Shalala. It's a little Jameson, green chartreuse, lemon juice, honey simple, and cucumber. Not a margarita. A great, refreshing St. Patty's Day biddle, though, if I do say so myself.
Are you going to wear into the green parade?
Yeah, I'm going to go probably post up somewhere by River's house with the kids, keep it chill. My wife's got to shoot a wedding, so not going to get too crazy.
So I was invited to ride one of my sponsors, Aesthetic Medicine. They got a float. They invited me to ride. I've never ridden in the parade.
God, have they ever hung out with you?
What's that?
I said they must have never hung out with you. Fucking got him, boys. Cheers. I'm going to try the one that you don't like first. This is the immature one. Hey, grow the fuck up.
I think it's very oaky. In a bad way.
See, this is my problem. I just tend to like all things to varying degrees.
Okay.
I'll try these other two. Okay, sorry, continue that. What are you doing Saturday? You riding?
No, well, they invited me. It's just very early. I got to be there at like 8 a.m. And I'm like,
hey,
do I really want to go that early?
What is the old saying? You can't get day drunk if you don't start drinking in the morning or something like that?
I guess so. Sure.
Can't be hungover by dinner if you don't get irresponsibly fucked up on the float by 11 a.m.
Should I go? You think I should go and ride in the float?
If your family's giving you the go-ahead, abso-fucking-lutely, dude.
I don't think it's family giving the go-ahead. I think, Erica and Drew will still be sleeping, and then, I'll be there at 8 a.m., and then I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying if Erica's cool with holding down the fort, then, yeah, I would say absolutely right. I want to ride for sure in the parade one day. I remember being extremely jealous of the 2007 seniors from the football team because I'm pretty sure they got to be I think they got to be what you call it. They weren't Grand Marshals, whatever. They got their own float. They got to ride. They got to drink. They got everything because they were done with college. Like they could finally get hooked up. It just looked like
that's
so much
wearing
fun.
of the green.
Yeah, the St. Patty's Day parade.
Do you want to try that one?
And then
what did you think? What did you think of the single barrel? Did you get the sweet kind of cherries? No.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, it's okay.
I don't know.
That's all right. One day you can come over, and I'll teach you about tasting and shit like that if you care to.
Hey now.
Or you may just want to get really drunk all the time.
I like this one the best. I don't exactly know why. Yeah. That's the Kentucky mouth. It's the hug. I like the hug on this the best.
You like how it's
the other ones are a little
light,
just too smooth. Yeah.
So
I don't mean that as a negative thing. Like that's fine if you want that, but I like a little warm.
You want something a little that's going to punch you in the mouth a little bit.
Yes.
It's I always say it's like
my mouth.
It's like
Burn my mouth down. That's what I meant. You said punch. You said punch. My bad. We got a Facebook question. Did the Saints screw up the defense? No, we don't think so.
I think the secondary is really good.
Really what?
Really good.
Yeah.
I like Lattimore, I like Alontae Taylor, and I like Paulson Adebo. Paulson Adebo
I'm not
was
sure about the safeties anymore. In a post, I know Von Bell just got released, but like
Marcus Williams.
I just feel like we had really good safeties there for a minute, and you just let them all go.
Well, Tyron and Marcus May.
Marcus May was good. Tyron was good. You're right.
Tyron had a very productive season,
and more productive than he gets credit for.
And Marcus May was injured for a chunk of the season. I like them. I think they're fine in the second. Now, statistically, they were like the fourth best. They were second in the NFL in passing yards per game. Did you know that?
I did not know
a big part of that was because they sucked dick at run defense, and they were always losing, and so teams weren't throwing.
Yeah, again, Malcolm Brown, man. Ever since Malcolm Brown left, everything went to shit. That's why you need a big boy. We need a big boy.
Malcolm Brown, Sheldon Rankins.
Who's available again?
A younger Onyemata. Like, they had they lost some dudes and didn't replace them adequately. So
Hunter Broadhead says, you got to think Peyton Turner will be seen more as a DT this year?
No, I don't. I don't think he's big enough to be a DT. I think they're going to have multiple looks, right? I mean, they've run looks where Cam Jordan kicks inside. So they're going to get creative, but he's not going to be...
He's not a run-stuffy DT. Ideally, he's going to be like a Cam Jordan third down pass rush to 3 tech if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, Rankin-Stein with the Texans says Aaron Arsenault. Good looking out, Aaron.
It's hard to keep up with
I don't do my show prep until before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning. So whenever I come in for this show, I generally have not paid attention for the last few hours. And, I mean, during free agency, you miss so much stuff.
On a day like this, it's even if you are locked in, it's impossible. Like, when I'm going into AFR, I tell Paul and Moose, I'm like, don't assume that I saw something. Like, if you tell me if you saw something, because there's a good chance that I will have missed it. I mean, if you're not refreshing Twitter every 5 minutes or following the Dov Kleeman account.
I love Dov. Wait, why is everybody talking about Dov today? He's been my favorite NFL follow forever. He has the funniest, he has the best clips on there. What?
The best clips?
Like he just always finds like funny, like he pours through all the like NFL films, like when they have all the mic'd up episodes on YouTube, like he pours through it all and he always finds the funniest shit.
So the thing about Dov Kleeman, so I've talked about this for a while now. Dov Kleeman, I didn't believe is a real person. If nobody knows who Dov Kleeman is.
What?
Seriously, like his avatar, his profile is a cartoon. Yeah. Like, he's never worked for anybody. Google his name. There's no pictures of Dov Kleeman anywhere.
Oh, what the fuck?
He's had no affiliation of anything
everywhere. We've talked on Twitter before when I tweet at him and how much I love him.
There's obviously a human being running the account.
But I'm just shocked right now.
My point, so I've talked about this for a while. Like, we wanted to do a bit on AFR where I created a Dov Kleeman for another. He's just an aggregator.
It's his editor, writer, bro Bible?
Right, so I'll come back to that. So all he does is take other people's reports and aggregates them in this Twitter feed. Everything is blah, 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 per Wingos, blah, 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 per
not everything.
Shepard.
A lot of these free agency moves are, but not his normal follows.
100% of everything he does
right here, look.
He's taking from Patrick Surtain.
No, look, that's what I'm saying, but this is an original tweet where he's screenshotting it.
I understand, but my point is he's not a reporter, he's not an NFL writer, he's just aggregating on a feed from teams, from other reporters, and then he gives attribution. It's all per the team. So, like, my point is, this is not like some NFL reporter with sources or anything like that. And nobody has ever seen him. He's never worked for any accredited publications or media entities. Like, he just doesn't exist. Well, so yesterday, Garrett Wilson tweeted like, "Oh man, Dov bro had me going. I'm sorry. I thought it was the news I was waiting for." Dov Kleeman took Trey Wingo's report about the Rodgers thing being a done deal, and so he tweeted it and then put per Wingo's. Well, everybody just started crapping on Dov Kleeman, and so the New York Post now has done a feature. Google New York. Well, I got it on Twitter. New York Post Dov Kleeman, because Boomer and Gio on CBS Sports Radio and The Fan in New York basically did this thing where they did the thing I said, like, who is Dov Kleeman? Nobody knows. He's like not a real person. He's got nobody's ever seen him. Nobody knows who he is, anything like that. And so
he's the best NFL follower, dude. That's who he is.
So it started, here it is. It started this big old like Twitter kaboom about Dov Kleeman. So look, the New York Post filed a story today. Who is Dov Kleeman, solving sports media's biggest mystery?
That's fascinating.
So I've said that I've said this for years now. Like, I want to find out who this guy is. Well, now it doesn't matter because everybody's asking the same question. But so New York Post Twitter DM'd him and he replied, and it was like, send me a picture, and so to show it's you. So he sent them this picture. So apparently he's like a guy in his early 30s who lives in Israel, who's just aggregating NFL news.
So the only thing is, I don't want to present him like nothing that he's doing is original, because it's almost like he's what would I say? It's almost like a react video on YouTube or something where there is a ton of work. And granted, if you look at his timeline right now during free agency, it's a little different than football season where he does have some more of his own original stuff, right? But it's like he is pouring through massive amounts of information and filtering it and putting it out there in a very easy to understand and solid way.
He's aggregating the news.
Yes, but I'm saying, but I guess I think when people hear that, some can hear it as pejorative and think like that. He's lazy and he's stealing others' work. I actually don't believe that. I think he's promoting others' work, but more than that, he's the guy that goes on like players like social medias and finds them from their Instagram stories and their Facebooks, and like I said, combs through all the NFL mic'd up videos and finds cool clips and everything. Look, I guess all I'm saying is I didn't know any of this. He's been my favorite NFL follower for a while. I cannot recommend enough following Dov Kleeman.
I don't care.
Also, Rodgers confirmed it, right? He's going to play for the Jets on McAfee?
He didn't. He said that he's known since Friday he wants to play for the Jets, but it's not done because the two sides. Okay. The Packers still have to trade him.
Yeah.
And the Jets have to make the money work because you got to pay the dude $60 million or whatever it's going to be. So there are hurdles to clear. But either way, I don't care. Like, I'm not pissed at Dov Kleeman or anything. I just find it fascinating that he's got 150,000 followers. He was Twitter verified before you had to buy a blue check mark, and people will always do like per Dov Kleeman, and I'm like, no, it's not per Dov Kleeman. Like, Dov Kleeman is taking someone else's report, but that's always just kind of fascinated me how nobody seemingly stopped to look and say like, who really is this guy? He's not a real guy, but apparently he's a guy in his early 30s who lives in Israel.
Hell yeah, man. Well, then he sits on his computer all fucking day in Israel and just grinds out.
I wonder how he makes money.
Tweets and reports.
You don't make money on Twitter doing that. So.
No, I always figured he was had a Patreon or I always figured he had a website that I just didn't know about because I just follow him on Twitter. Like, I assumed that he was a writer with a Patreon or a Substack or something.
There's nothing on his Twitter. He's like, he does an edit whatever for Bro Bible. I'm like, all he is an aggregator. But anyway, I don't care. That's a lot of talk about that.
Shout out Dov, dude. Again, best Twitter follow in the game.
Did you see this tweet? Shout out to Paul in the Heights. Said Moscona has good T-Bob heading to Vegas for the LSU-USC game in 2024.
Oh, let's go, dude! That is hilarious. Yes,
it's a gift from Hangover when they're driving in the convertible. And
who am I, Bradley Cooper?
I replied. I was like, did you see my reply?
No.
I said to him, do we even need to guess who is who in this game?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. No.
So then
it's
our guy Craig Schilling, shout out to the GOAT. He puts your head on the GIF of Allen.
That is excellent.
Hang on. I got it. The little girl flipping you off.
That is fucking awesome,
That was
dude.
really good. Oh, man. Yeah, I told Musso today on AFR. We'll have to talk to the program director about us all going to Vegas in 2024.
Vegas! I haven't been to Vegas since a bachelor party when I was like 24.
I haven't been to Vegas since last week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How was the fight?
Awesome. So good.
John Jones put it on his ass, huh?
It wasn't even
man?
competitive, dude. John Jones is just a He's a
beast.
He's a different kind of human.
You're getting a random John Jones YouTube hole where I watched like 3 hour-long fan-made documentaries on John Jones, and so I have a layman's understanding of just how otherworldly he's been.
I'm just pissed at him because, as a fan of the sport, we have been robbed of his greatness.
Yeah.
Because he's a moron.
Yeah.
He made so many terrible life decisions. There have been these long stretches of his career where we didn't get to watch him. I mean, he otherwise literally would have done things and set records that would never be approached. But he was just out of the game for 3 years.
No, I know. It's just crazy.
And he comes back in at heavyweight
that's the thing.
and annihilates the best heavyweight on the planet.
He can come. It seems like, not many people could go out drinking and partying and doing coke the week of the fight and still defend your heavyweight title like it was nothing.
I know.
I guess it's all legend, maybe I should say. I don't know. But he's a fucking beast, dude. It's crazy.
Questions. If you're watching live on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you for being there. Please drop your questions. 27 watching live. Our live number is lower than it normally is, obviously, because most people watch on YouTube. We get that. We had a YouTube.
Shout out to Facebook.
Live,
real ones. What's happening, y'all?
We had an issue, and it's funny. My guy Trivia Carter said early in the chat, he said, "Thanks for having me on this bullshit app." He hates Facebook. But I get it.
Do we have any sponsors of Facebook?
No. I get it, but you know what?
No,
but your love for YouTube's what fucked up today. It's not none of our faults. YouTube is the thing that the YouTube live function is what's malfunctioning today.
God damn you! Actually, who owns YouTube?
Google.
Who owns Google?
Google.
Eric Bischoff from the WCW.
I don't know who has the majority stake in Google.
What if you look it up and it's Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff?
I
think it was a Sergey that started it originally. I could be wrong, though.
Alphabet Inc. Chairperson is John Hennessy.
Now it's just all No, wait, they're fucking with. Literally, an Alphabet Inc. is a mega corporation name. Just really driving it home that it's all just numbers and letters on a page, and they can just swallow up anything and continue to swallow up different businesses.
By Sergey Brin and Larry.
I knew. I told you there's a Sergey in there.
And Larry Page. And I don't know when they sold it, or they're not. I don't care. Fuck, I don't care.
Avo Marswani says, Matt, did you see the video of Henry Cejudo telling Jones exactly what ended up happening at the end of the fight during the training?
I didn't.
What do you mean?
I didn't see the video.
No, I mean, what does he mean? He told Jones exactly what ended up,
Yeah, it sounds like he's saying he told.
Cejudo told Jones, hey,
Cejudo
you're going to submit
Jones,
him
that's what it sounds like
this easily, right at the beginning.
I did not see that video, no.
Is that his trainer, Henry?
Henry Cejudo is a fighter.
Oh, okay. So they were training together, and he was like,
team, yeah.
he was like, this is how you're going to beat him. Wow. That's cool.
But the biggest shocker of UFC 285 was Valentina losing.
I don't know. I don't know anything about UFC. I don't know who Valentina is.
Valentina Shevchenko is, I would argue, the most pound for pound, technically skilled fighter in the UFC. Dominant female champion, and she fought a Mexican fighter named Meg Grasso, and she just flat got beat. I mean, Grasso was beating her in the stand-up. She was beating her in the stand-up, so Valentina...
Mexicans love boxing, dude.
Valentina took it to the mat and looked like she was in control of the fight because she was losing on her feet. But then, bro, her takedowns got stuffed. She tried to shoot and got stuffed twice, and at that point it was like, oh shit, she's fucked.
Wow.
And she tried a spin kick, missed, took her back, submitted her. It was Valentina was minus 800.
Oh,
Championship fight. This is champion against number one contender, minus 800. Like maybe the biggest statistical upset in the UFC history. I mean, Ronda losing to Holly Holm, but you can look back in hindsight and see how that happened.
Yeah,
Ronda was a one-trick pony. She was incredible on her run, but Holly Holm was a great kickboxer and kicked her right in the fucking face and knocked her out.
Yeah, she beat the hell out of her.
Anyway.
I've been getting into a lot of boxing workouts lately.
Good. That's great.
I used to do kickboxing back in the day, and then I've been finding my way back to it, dude. It's just fun.
Are you excited about baseball this weekend? LSU taking on
does a bear shit in the woods and then sleep for an entire winter after it fills up on blueberries and salmon?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say I'm fucking excited. Okay, I'm ready to fucking feast on some blueberries and salmon.
What does the bear shitting in the woods and eating blueberries and salmon and sleeping have to do?
Because that's what bears do. And what I do is get fucking hyped to watch this 17-1 LSU baseball team go take on Texas A&M and beat that ass at College Station. And a great test is going to reveal who's real and who's not. Because at this point, ever in the SEC, if you want to shit on a team, you say, oh, well, they haven't played anyone. And then if you want to give them credit, you just say, oh, but look how good they are. Look at their record. Look at the numbers. And LSU's numbers are out of fucking control. I have them all written down right here. What is it? So LSU third in the SEC in batting average, 338 as a team. Second in the SEC with a 2.27 ERA. First in opponent batting average. Opponent's only hitting 163. Most importantly, Matt, first in fielding percentage. How about it, dude? For a complete weakness last year.
Yes.
You now committed the least amount of errors in the SEC at just 5. And second place are both Tennessee and Ole Miss with 8, nearly double your amount. They're first in, they have a team on base percentage of 472 right now.
That's pretty good.
A coin flip as to whether or not the person ends up on base. And you know what's funny? They don't have the overwhelming home run numbers that all these other teams have.
I know.
And so what that tells me is you are just getting quality ass at bats from every single person in the lineup, and they're not relying on make or break, not as much as these other teams are make or break home run swings. They're just, like I said, just putting together quality at bats person after person. I don't know how you throw to this lineup. They will break you eventually. Let's fucking go. Dylan Cruz batting .519.
Yeah, they hit 1 through 9.
Dylan Cruz on base percentage, .653.
That's a lot.
What? He's getting on base as much as some shitty NBA players make free throws.
He's been on base in every game.
Skeens is first in Ks.
So this weekend, I think is really interesting. A&M under Jim Schlossnagle, year 2 under Schlossnagle, had a great first year last year in College Station. Schlossnagle, of course, is a pitching guy. A&M has a ton of lefty arms, and A&M has really struggled to hit this year. I think they're 13th in the SEC in batting average. Like their bats have they lost a ton of offense from last year's team, and they've really struggled to come around. But their arms are there and they're legit, and it's supposed to be in the 30s this weekend in College Station. So you would think that that's going to be really conducive for pitching and defense and not so much offense. We'll see. I mean, the wind may blow out and the ball may fly. But
so the funny thing is, that setup right there, like you were just talking about, that reminds me exactly what we heard last year with this A&M team, except we thought they were going to be shitty, right? They had a horrible batting average. They weren't hitting the ball at all. And then they went and they kicked your ass to start the season, and it felt very sober, and you were lucky against them. I think it's when Trey Morgan had like that crazy play at the end of the game. So we owe these motherfuckers, okay? And LSU, you've been so badass. The worst thing you could do would be to break the illusion by going, and it's not easy. It's a very good A&M team. You're in College Station. Like nothing, it's going to be freezing. I didn't know that. Nothing about it is easy. But you're the number 1 team, okay? And you've looked like the number 1 team. Go be the number 1 team this weekend. Take 2 of 3. Start this season off the right way where we're not having to make excuses on Monday. We're celebrating on Monday.
Yeah, it's a brutal start to conference play. You go A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Well, and then South Carolina now. That's South Carolina, right?
But I will say this. Arkansas has had really bad injury luck. They lost Jackson Wiggins, who was their Friday night guy. He's done for the year. They lost their best reliever for the year. They've lost 3 arms, and they are struggling to pick up the slack there. So that series might actually be one where LSU has a chance to nip a wounded hog.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
A little wild boar rib. So LSU is now 16-1. Texas A&M, yo, what's up, CB? Texas A&M's 13-4. They're 4 losses this year. They lost to Lamar 4-7, a little common opponent. They almost got swept by Portland. They lost 10-3 on Friday. They lost 4-1 on Saturday. They barely won 5-4 on Sunday.
That was the season opening series.
Then they got smacked around by Louisville, good Louisville team, from what I understand. But they've won 8 games in a row, including a win against a ranked Texas Tech. So, not as impressive a start as LSU has had, but certainly still a good team.
A&M can pitch, they can't hit, and they're going to have to face really good pitching from LSU. And I love that LSU already went on the road to Round Rock and played at Texas. So going on the road isn't going to be unfamiliar. Which is why I would always rather you go play in Round Rock and lose a game to Iowa and get humbled and exposed a little bit to know what to work on and not just rest on the laurels of having 7 fucking Mercy Rule wins already.
Wait, so why wasn't last night why was it not eligible for a 7-run game?
Both teams have to agree to it before the game starts.
Oh, and UNO said no.
Or LSU, maybe they wanted to play.
Oh, so LSU's been agreeing with these other schools that we could end it early if it gets there?
Yeah, that's pretty commonplace. Because the thing is, what you don't want to have happen is, so like UNO played Mississippi Valley last week. You saw that awful strikeout call.
Oh, yeah.
So that was UNO last weekend. Well,
yeah, I know.
Well, the Saturday game was 35-3. 35-3. So, you want to avoid those things from potentially happening and unraveling, because then you tax your bullpen, and how do you get through it? And you know what I mean. So it's that's when you look at some of those situations. You get bigger fish to fry as the year goes along, and you have roster limits. It's not like the old days of college baseball when there were you could have 50 fucking guys on the roster. It's not like in the pros where you could just go get a guy, call up a guy.
No,
from the minors.
I just react like that because Jay Johnson's been presenting it as that he hates it. But I guess at the same time, you don't want to be an asshole to the other school that's coming to play you that you're better than if they're like, hey, we want the rule to be in play. You're not going to be like, no, fuck you. Yeah. It's not a good way to maintain relationships in the profession, I would imagine. That feels to me like UNO was probably like, no, let's play 9.
Or maybe, I'll tell you.
Is Blake Dean still the coach?
Yeah. Year 8. I talked to Blake on AFR yesterday.
Shout out Blake Dean.
He's great. He just got win 200, which made me feel really old.
Wow.
I didn't realize it's been 8 years for Blake Dean. But he's won a good bit.
They're 11-5, I think, right now, right?
Yeah. The other thing, they've played a lot of SWAC schools, and they've been pretty good offensively. I mean, granted, you score 35 in a game, and it's going to skew things a little bit. But they've had some 9s and some 16s and some they've had some good offensive days. And I mean, when your coach is one of the best college hitters ever, you're going to be a free swinging team that is up there being aggressive at the plate, and you're going to knock the ball around a little bit. So
God, I can't wait to fucking beat Tennessee's ass week 2, dude. I've been waiting for this fucking day for 2 years. Come on down, Tony V, you son of a bitch. Get out of Lindsey Nelson and come into the box this time, dude. And we'll see what happens this year, okay?
Skeens Dolander is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be beast.
And that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, too.
Oh,
so you're going to get
TV matchup.
You're going to get Skeens Dolander on Thursday.
I love a good Friday show where you get to recap a baseball game.
Easy content. Friday, by the way, is Friday of Hogs for the Cause. Are you going?
It's up in the air. I'm like Brandon Ingram right now. I'm questionable.
Okay.
I went a little too hard in the paint last year.
I know. I saw the picture of you laying out.
Full Metal Alchemist, an anime, teaches about the law of equivalent exchange, right? There's always a price to be paid. And I had so much fun that weekend that let's just say that you can't enjoy anything on earth that much without a price to be paid. So we will see. I would love to go on Friday night. But again, I'm like Brandon Ingram. I'm questionable right now. I got soreness.
So Mincy asked me to do AFR at Hogs for the Cause on that Friday.
I thought I was good. I thought I've been going there for months. It just recently propped up where maybe it's not happening. We'll see. But AFR Friday is going to be awesome there. I remember they had Foxy out there. I did a bit with Sean Fox in the tent last year at the Barstool Meat Tent.
All right, let's do some questions to wrap up here. Trey Potan said, any word on Javen Coleman? Is he going to be out again this year? Javen Coleman has been...
Oh, wow, I forgot about Javen Coleman.
He has been dressed. I've noticed that. And I know he's throwing. I don't know to what degree they're ramping up. It's a good question, and we'll have to follow up, and I'll see if I can get that answer for next week. But kind of the good news is you've got Riley Cooper and that Nate Ackenhausen. Both of them, you have two lefties that have both thrown really well. So, yeah. I mean, Javen Coleman was a weekend guy for you last year on that team, no doubt. And he's a really good left-handed pitcher, and I would love to have it as a luxury. But you also don't want to put him at risk by rushing him back in any way. But so, long way of saying I don't know the answer to whether or not he's going to be back this year. I just haven't asked.
Yeah, the emergence of Ackenhausen, though, has you have lefties again. You got lefties again. It's crazy. It's been a while.
Hunter Broadhead, you guys be okay taking Bijan at 29?
No. I look, man, I just can't overreach for running back. You just can't. You need D linemen. Like, it's not you need, okay, that's a bad way to justify, because you need a running back, but getting satisfactory running back play is so much easier than almost any position on the football field. So you got to use those valuable draft picks elsewhere, I think.
And there's so many good running. Like, have you looked at I'm sure you have. Have you looked at the running backs?
Yeah, no, the draft class. I mean,
let's do this real quick.
No, because I did this at the Senior Bowl. I'm like, where's Tajay Spears ranked? And it was like 11th. And I'm like, what? And then we looked at the running backs, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I still think he should be higher, but, like, I kind of get it now.
Like, let me just look at Walter Football, okay, ranking the draft.
Who's this guy? This is another Dolph Kleeman?
I don't give a fuck who he is, all right? But Walter Football. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, beast.
Zach Charbonnet.
We all know about him.
LSU fans saw him. Devon A-Chain.
Oh, okay.
LSU
we
fans know
fucking
him.
suffered at his hands this year.
Zach Evans, former 5-star.
Oh,
Ole Miss,
Zach Evans, yeah.
Right? Rated as the 5th best. Dwayne McBride from UAB.
Out of UAB this year.
That was
put up crazy numbers.
That was the guy who LSU kind of shut down a little bit, but led the nation in rushing, 1,700 yards. Kenny McIntosh from Georgia, the 7th best running back. Kenny McIntosh. Kendre Miller from TCU.
Very good at TCU.
Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State.
LSU fans know about him.
Undersized guy, but good player. Chris Rodriguez.
His 10th.
Led the SEC in rushing, 10th best running back. Chase Brown from Illinois.
Beast this year. 11th.
Sean Tucker from Syracuse.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Eric Gray from Oklahoma. Remember,
I don't know Eric Gray, actually.
You remember, Eric Gray started his career at Tennessee. Friggin' phenomenal talent. Transferred to Oklahoma.
I feel like you're tickling something, but...
You would, he had, dyed dreads that come out of the back of his helmet. I'm telling you, on the shitty Tennessee teams, he was, the only good player. Anyway, Eric Gray is a really good football player. Rashawn Johnson, 14, from Texas. Remember, he was the guy that was the quarterback that moved to running back that LSU saw in 2019.
Yeah.
Rashawn.
Wait, that's when he dropped the pass?
I don't know that.
Quarterback who moved to running back. Remember on the 4th and goal where they had the wide open pass for the touchdown beginning of the game?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that dropped the ball back in the day.
Anyway, Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota, they have him as the 18th best running back. We haven't even got to Tajay Spears yet. So my point is,
Ibrahim put up crazy. I think Ibrahim almost led the Big Ten this year.
I think he did. Anyway, my point is, there's so many running backs in this draft class. You don't need Bijan Robinson. Great. You don't need to take Bijan Robinson. Nah. You have bigger needs, and you're going to be able to get
you think you've already got a transcendent guy. It's just that Alvin Kamara's career has gone sideways a little bit.
He's just getting old.
Well, I mean, but that's not really it, though, is it? I mean, it's really the fact that he lost Drew Brees and any threat, and Sean Payton as a play caller, and
so Kamara this year
as a playmaker.
Kamara missed.
He had no weapons to kick him off to help him out last year. This year, Jameis Winston just didn't throw him the ball.
Kamara was your leading rusher and your second leading pass catcher this year. So Kamara ran for 897, and he caught 57 balls for 490 yards. So, he was your leading rusher and second leading pass catcher. So, third behind Juwan Johnson. It was Olave, Johnson, Kamara. So Kamara's been productive. Maybe not to the standard of catching 88 balls or 81 balls, whatever it was at the beginning of his career.
But the rush yards the rush per are so down, dude.
4.
Oh, he got 4 this last year? Okay, I thought he was at like 3.5. But look at every other year. 6'1", 4'6", 4'7", 5'0", 3'7", 4'0". But still, he had 4.0, which is, the traditional benchmark.
And I would love to see, but remember also, he didn't have, his best years were when it was he and Ingram. And Ingram could be
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
So you need another guy, but that's like when he's the only guy they have, he just had to tote so much of the load. So, anyway. Any more questions?
Not that I see.
Shout out to Oliver Twist. Love coming here every Wednesday.
Love Oliver Twist. You can tell the people are getting back out. Spring is in the air. End of winter, it was getting a little quiet here on Wednesdays. And it looks like we're popping off once again. All the fellas are here, dude.
Great crowd tonight.
I agree.
Great spot for lunch here at Oliver Twist. And dinner, the menu's fantastic. I'm sure T-Bob's going to eat this salmon meal that's right here in front of us, which looks fantastic.
I mean, I just had a delicious shrimp pasta at home, but I think I have to, dude.
Or I'll eat the salmon. That's fine. Thanks for watching. Please, if you're on YouTube, you're not on YouTube, but what we're going to do, this won't matter to any of you watching right now, but we're going to take the video, strip it, and upload it to YouTube for those that want to watch it on YouTube on demand. Please like the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page, share the post, and if you're listening on demand on podcast, thank you, and please subscribe up on your favorite podcast app. Hell yeah, y'all have a great day. We love you. Go Tigers. Beat the fuck out of Texas A&M, dude. So, I haven't finished Demon Slayer yet. You gave me a viral TikTok moment earlier. I can't sit here and just tell you to watch Demon Slayer, but certainly Death Note you need to watch. Do you realize you gave me a viral TikTok moment earlier? What, the cum in your mouth? Yeah. It feels a little crass, doesn't it, upon repeat? We'll see if I don't know if it's very funny. It felt a little on the nose. But anyway, Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop. I have positive memories